Good evening, you 3 a.m. YouTube watchers. Tonight we're going to be dissecting, ripping apart, and analyzing the newest trailer from Stranger Things. And I'm your host, Andre Martinez. This is your newest edition of The Nightly Show. The Stranger Gang is back, you guys. Mike, Will, Lucas, and adorable little Dustin. I know. Oh my gosh. But anyway, and even 11. Yes, they teased 11 in the trailer as well. And before you guys start blowing me up on like the comment section saying like, "Oh my God, 11, where's 11? Let's talk about 11." Chill, okay? We're gonna get to 11, but let's dissect it the way it starts. We're gonna start from the beginning and we're gonna get into it. So the boys are in a little penny arcade where I guess they're playing some like I don't know some He-Man video game, and then we see Will, our little buddy, who's just been through way too much stuff, like enough to make you pretty traumatized. We see him getting those little glimpses of that under universe, and he's wearing his little like 80s windbreaker jacket, and he's coming out of his like little striped shirt. By the way, whoever is the set designer and the wardrobe like designer, I'm gonna give them a little nod, a little bravo, because if they were trying to emphasize like the 80s, they did a really good job. The whole trailer, the trailer itself is like backed up with the music from Michael Jackson's Thriller, but if you see the whole thing like in its entirety, it is like riddled with 80s nostalgia all over the place. But anyway, Quinn, that was just a quick side note. Coming back to Will, he's in the diner. He's seen those little glimpses, kind of like the ones that they teased at the end of season 1, where he's looking in the mirror and he sees like he's starting to see like glimpses of the other universe, and he's looking in the mirror, and I think he has like a nosebleed, and he coughs up like some slug demon, I don't know what, but he's stepping outside of this penny arcade where his stranger gang and his stranger pals are still playing. They all disappear, and then he looks outside. It's like thundering red, and we don't really know what's going on. And then he looks up into the sky, and there's like this post-apocalyptic, like War of the Worlds looking alien tentacle monster staring up in the sky. And obviously we don't know what's going on, but we're getting the sense that maybe something on the other side of this, what was it, the upside down, that's what it's called, the upside down. We're getting this idea that maybe things in the upside down, things are starting to take motion, because what we saw in season 1 is the upside down is pretty desolate and like not a whole lot going on there, with the exception of like some freaky Gargamel monster that opens up his mouth and devours little kids. Alright, my little night owls, now it is time for me to listen to you. You've heard me talk plenty. So we're going to be discussing this first episode of the 7th season of Game of Thrones. And we all know there's a lot of stuff that went on. For those of you who did not watch it, they're pre-warned right now. This is your official spoiler alert kind of warning. So we have a caller. We have Jeremy from Oceanside. Jeremy, how you doing?
Hi, Andre. Big fan. I love the show.
Thanks, my man. I love your voice.
Thank you.
All right. So, again, I've already given the spoiler alert warning. So we're going to dive into the episode. Give me your facts. Give me your opinions. We had Arya dressed as Walder Frey. By the way, I have a little tidbit about that. So I know that Arya can cut, like, the faces off of her victims or whatever. But, like, she also turned Walder Frey's, like, height. And she also somehow acquired his voice. So that's one thing that I'm looking for a real Game of Thrones fan to kind of answer for me. Where did that, like, is that just like a power that comes from the, what is it, the faceless men?
Well, you see, like, in the books, what people don't understand, and there's a lot of underlying theme of magic. If you remember about the wall isn't just an ice wall. It actually has, like, magic embedded. And the same thing goes with that religion. There's magic underlining tones to it, but because it was never revealed in the show, it doesn't make sense to explain it fully.
Okay, so you're saying, so that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking like maybe they're just gonna add like a magical aspect to it. Maybe just like the faceless men either are so talented to the point where they can emulate someone else's voice, or that there's like some sort of faceless men magic that comes along with cutting off people's faces. I mean,
exactly. I think there's, because they even show a ritual when she does do the process of taking out the mask. There's a ritual involved in it.
You're right. She does like wash them off, and like there's kind of like a like a not a seance, but you're right. A ritual would probably be the best word to describe it. So, what I was thinking, my first idea behind it, and by the way, the scene is so like it gives you chills, and I love that they did it before the introduction of the actual like the dun 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 dun. Like I like that they did it before that, so that they can give people just like that nice little teaser of like, oh yeah, Arya like Game of Thrones is back.